like I said before, just because alcohol and nicotine are legal now doesn't mean they're a benefit to society. They offer no benefits at all. And to make these things legal because people want to use them is just hurting your society. It's providing no benefit.
Well, it's hurting society already as it being illegal because people are still using it, still using marijuana, and since we're already taxing alcohol, taxing nicotine, which in essence, nicotine in the end with cigarettes can kill a person. So I mean, we're inevitably aiding in the killing of Americans as it is while making a profit off it.
And that's the wrong thing to do.
So then how can you say it's wrong to legalize marijuana when cigarettes alone kill thousands upon thousands?
No, I don't think you get what I'm saying. I'm saying that nicotine should be illegal.
Yeah.
Because it does those things. And that's on that same basis, marijuana should also stay illegal.
Wouldn't you say that marijuana illegal is more harmful to society because then you have the drug dealers and the crime related to all the drug-related incidents?
By making it legal, we take away funds to huge gangs and terrorists that do run these huge operations of moving big quantities of marijuana throughout the city and the suburbs. By making it legal, we cut off that entire revenue fund. That goes to the government.
There is definite problems associated with the drug trade, and I feel that's an unfortunate part of the issue. But legalizing the drug is not the solution. It just isn't.
It's already being moved in such high quantity that you can't shut it down. There's an underground network that is so dispersed.
I'm not saying we're ever going to shut it down. There's,
making it legal would only take away that entire underground network and gain revenue for the United States economy, and cut out funds to big gangs or terrorists or people that are oppressing other people.
But then that underground network just keeps on selling other hard drugs like cocaine and heroin to the users and the people who are
They don't
addicted
have
to
the
that
same
crap.
quantity of buyers. There's not the same people. Nobody looks at cocaine and heroin the same they do at marijuana.
Exactly. Like she said, heroin. Marijuana is the third most popular drug. Cocaine and heroin are not as high up and not as widely sold.
But marijuana use leads to the use of other drugs.
Well, it has a potential.
So does alcohol. Alcohol is also considered a gateway drug. That is just as accessible by opening your parents' liquor cabinet when you're in fifth grade.
That's truly an unfortunate, thing in the circumstances. But legalizing one more drug, especially when alcohol and marijuana in conjunction, or when taken together, is significantly more dangerous than just taking either one as is.
Combining and altering any drugs you're taking obviously creates an effect that you don't want to occur, creates an adverse effect. So that can happen by accidentally taking Advil and any said drug that is supposed to relieve another body problem that you have.
Well, like if you also look at alcohol, when we had prohibition in the early 20th century, if you look at it, crimes and gains went up because they started getting more money for bootlegging alcohol and products. As soon as they repealed prohibition, those gangs lost all their money because the money started becoming revenue back into the federal government. So how can you sit and say that marijuana is such a horrible thing? Like, if you legalize it, it could have the same effect as repealing prohibition had. How do you know that just by legalizing one more drug that it's bad for society? When we repealed the prohibition of alcohol, so we pretty much put alcohol back in the pantries and the liquor cabinets of Americans, and we stopped the bootleggers.
I'd just like to say that it would be a good thing that if we could, alleviate that amount of crime, but it's just like at what cost? Are we going to undermine our morals and our wanting to keep our kids off drugs or keep people off recreational drugs? I mean, would you want to live in a society where people are doing drugs recreationally just so you can not have to bust a few drug dealers?